last week on the what day was that again? On the 18th? On the 18th of my first protest and going to the No Kings Day, October 18th, No Kings 2.0, in my local area, which was put together by Cooper River Indivisible, which is a general area that I live in South Jersey in Camden County. And the march that I did went from Westmont to Collingswood, which is Collingswood is a very big, very inclusive town that everyone knows in this local area. It's a very big town. For those of you who don't know, real quick, what No King's Day is, No King's Day is a march and protest. It's a nationwide march and protest to protest all of the crap that our commander in chief is doing right now. The illegal arrests, the um, sending military into cities that don't need it and aren't asking for it, saying that all of this stuff is wartime when it's not, the illegal killing of Venezuelans it just because he believes that they are transporting drugs with no due process, all of the lack of due process, all of just the really tyrannical stuff he is doing, that although we all agree he is not king, he is acting like a tyrant, he is acting like a king. That is what No King's Day is about, is to say that this country is a country of democracy and a country of we the people, not of him the president. I've had so many conversations, so many arguments about people where they're like, well, I don't understand. He's not a king, so what are you protesting? Well, he's acting like a king. Well, other people have done the things that he's done, not to his level, not to his extent. Well, it's just you didn't protest those, and those weren't bad when those other people did it. Actually, they were bad. The former Democratic president, Barack Obama, was known as the deporter in chief. Was it good that he deported that many people? Probably not. I wasn't very politically active at the time. I'd have to look into it. But the fact of the matter is that they were doing it through the proper channels. They were doing the proper way of doing it. They weren't just finding and profiling brown people and kicking them out of the country. I have been anti-Trump since his first campaign. I was anti his travel ban. I'm anti everything he does. And no, this isn't Trump derangement syndrome. This is just literally he does not do anything good for the country. Even now, what are we? 9 months, 10 months into his presidency, and he of this second term, and he has done more harm. His administration has done more harm. I am recording this on the 24th. This comes out on the 25th. We are in the thralls of a government shutdown. 22 days. Sorry about that. I had to find it. It started on October 1st. I didn't realize that it started on October 1st. So it's actually now 24 days. However, it's the weekend and stuff, so Google AI isn't updating very well, I'm sure. So yeah, I ended up going to the No Kings protest because I'm not happy with him. I'm not happy with anything he's doing. For those of you who don't know this about me, number one, I can identify as a queer man, somewhere along the lines of Ace and Pan. We're not going to get too much further into that. If you want to talk to me about it, come to my streams about it. I also have celiac disease, arthritis, pre-diabetic. I wear glasses. I have acid reflux. Levels of potential disability on top of anything undiagnosed that I may have that is DEI. And I am so annoyed at all this. Like, look, I am a white man. I am, I don't have to worry about DEI, but it eventually will get down the line to me. And that sucks that it happens to anybody. It sucks it happens to anybody. And I am anti this, anti DEI. Like, don't get me started. It's frustrating. All the shit and bullshit they're doing on the with their anti-trans rhetoric, anti-LGBTQ alphabet army rhetoric, anti um drag queen rhetoric and drag rhetoric in general. It's just I don't understand how somebody can follow this guy. So I have been feeling myself very alone and out of place. and not really sure who I could talk to, who I could go to, and what I could do about this. And the friends I used to talk to about politics and stuff, we don't really meet or hang out as often, and I try not to bring up politics as often around them. But I just needed to do something. I needed to feel like I did something. So I went to the No Kings protest on October 18th, and I marched, and I joined my friend who actually helped put part of it together. They were part of, like I said, Cooper River Indivisible. I will link them down below. I'm actually going to join that program. And they were running the reproductive rights group. They are part of the reproductive rights group. They actually, I will show you pictures, and they all walked and marched in Handmaiden Tales, handmaiden outfits to show that that is where this country is going with the current administration. So, yeah, I am going to look through pictures, and then in post, I'm going to edit them in. So, I'm going to just check these out, and I'm going to click through them, and I'm just going to look at them and explain what I'm seeing, what I'm doing. I am going to try to edit out faces, crop pictures, so certain faces aren't there. There are a few pictures with minors, and I don't want to have their faces in there. And I know there's some people that don't want to be on the internet while at these protests. It is like, not to say I'm being ballsy for posting these. This is going to get hit from both sides. There's going to be people who are Trump supporters that do not like that I went there. There's going to be Republicans that do not like that I went there. And there's going to be people that were there, that were protesting, that aren't going to like that I'm sharing pictures and talking about the event. But my main focus of talking about the event is to talk about how it was a community together, and it was incredibly peaceful. The right has been passing this off as the I Hate America tour, but we wouldn't be there if we hated America. That's 100. That's a fact. And the amount of American flags you saw there were 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 countless. Like, there were so many American flags there. We don't hate America. We don't like the administration. That's what it is. It's not that we hate America. It's we hate the administration. And we wanted to show that you can protest and not cause damage. I'm looking at you, all you people from fucking January 6th, 2021. I'm looking at you. So let's just get into it. This first picture is going to be the outside of the crowd. I tried to get as many, like I said, anonymous pictures to show off, so that this way nobody's faces were in there. So this is like the outside. This is the meeting spot. I rolled up to the event like maybe a half hour before the march started. Um, then we have I have video now showing of just the lineup around the parking lot, and it's like it's lined up behind me. I thought I got a better video. I didn't. I thought I got a full circle video, but it is lined up behind me all the way around the parking lot, and all the way through to where I had showed you the first picture. Um, that rally this time, the first year that we, or the not first year, the first time No Kings happened on June 14th, they estimated about 5,000 people participated in the Collingswood, and then in on October 18th we had close to 8,000+ people. There were so many people there. The march itself, I was at the front of the march because I walked with my friend behind the handmaidens. I stayed behind the handmaidens because I didn't want to be part of the handmaidens, but I walked behind the handmaidens, so I was at the front. And when we got to the meeting area where the protests and the talks and everything were going to take place, we sat there and just watched the crowd come in, and it took about an hour plus, an hour and a half, for everyone to stream in. They were trying to wait to do any of the talks until everyone rolled in, but they couldn't because there was just so many people at these walks. It was crazy. It was crazy how many people were there. So this is me at the front of the line taking a picture behind me. No Foking Way. I like the play on words. I can't see what that other uh sign is behind them. And like, to be honest, it felt good to be in this march. It felt good. It gave me chills. It felt like I was surrounded by people that like agree with me, and I felt like I was in a safe place, which I was, and it felt really good. We marched from the Westmont train station all the way to the water towers of Collingswood, which is let's see how far that is. It's give or take about a mile and a half. The average walk time, according to Google, is about 30 minutes or so. So that sounds about right. It sounds about right. About a mile and a half is what we did. And it felt good. We were lucky enough to not have um a lot of negative reactions to our walks. Um there were like maybe two or three people, probably two from what I've seen, I'm sure there were more, but two from what I seen. One that I saw a video of, and one that I saw after the walk or while I was walking, of people shouting for Trump and go Trump. There was one person who got mad at us, and we're doing a peaceful protest, and yet they said that they hope we get hit by a car and die. So, however, the left is the anti-peace people. Sure. So yeah, this picture's done. Next one is this is the front of the line. This is all the handmaidens. I'm sorry, I couldn't quite read what her shirt said. I'm not really sure, or what her cloak said. I'm not really sure, but there you go, right there, boom, an American flag right up front. A couple of signs. We did at one point when we were close to the end, we had somebody try to gotcha us with some questions about some one of the girls and ladies had a sign that said like the no more censorship or something like that, and he asked about it, and he ended up asking questions about no more signs or no more censorship, and then got into asking about censorship and the vaccines and vaccine mandates, and then ended up going back to censorship and saying that like, do you believe, basically got to asking if we believed that Kirk deserved what he got due to non-censorship, and should he have been censored. And it's just like we all yelled no, no, like I said before, political violence gets you nowhere. No. So he didn't quite get us, but I didn't trust him after that, and I kind of was just like, let's come on, everyone, let's just go. Keep going and just let him do his thing to other people, because I didn't trust him. He was filming and recording, and he said he had some sort of YouTube channel. I don't know who he is. I might be on it. Who knows? Um, then after walking for a bit, we get into the Collingswood area. We cross. Um, I don't even remember the main street between Westmont and Collingswood, but there is a big group of people who work with Cooper River Indivisible that made a bunch of paper mache circus mannequins and puppets. And these things were amazing. They looked so great. They were obviously satirical mannequins and puppets of Musk, Trump, RFK Jr. And it was great. This again. I thought I got better video of stuff, but I ended up getting a new phone after the event, and so like some of my videos I don't think transferred properly. So I don't have as much as I thought I did. Then finally we got to the meeting area, which was under the train tracks near the water towers in Collingswood. And like I said, me and my friend just stood for an hour. She had to sit and work the table for the reproductive rights group at 2 o'clock. We got there at around 1. So we had about an hour. So we just stood there and just watched people come in, check out some of the signs that people had. This one right here for this older lady, or older person, government for all people with justice for all, no kings. That's a good one. We have a couple of other good ones. This is actually a group shot right here of everyone who had streamed in at this. So this is after 2 o'clock. They're getting ready to do the talks, but people are still coming in. This is upwards of 8,000. I had thought I heard about 10,000 during the event, but that was like an estimate. So they got a better number after the event. It was about 8,000. And now we're gonna just get into some of my favorite signs that I saw, um, and some of just my favorite people. So this one right here, "Don't let our Constitution go extinct," and it's Trump's face as a meteor hitting the Constitution, and as the person is dressed up like a T-Rex, and I loved it. We have somebody who was dressed up as Honest Abe Lincoln. I asked them if it was okay that I posted their picture. They said yes. Government of the people, by the people, for the people shall not perish. 100%. That's what we are built upon. Then my one of my favorite ones, or there's so many favorite ones, but this one, "Wake up America, scream democracy dies in silence." 100% true. If we don't say something, if we don't act, it is going to die. This one was one of my favorites as well. "Could someone explain which crimes get you deported and which ones get you elected as president?" It's so confusing because, Trump has what, 30 something, uh, um, 30 something guilty verdicts or whatever. Well, I don't know the words. I should have looked that up. Um, yeah, yeah, it doesn't make sense. And then of course, I bleed green. I'm an Eagles fan. You got the "Go Birds, Fuck Guys, Free Palestine" sign right there. Tyrannosaurus Rex. As much as I love dinosaurs and I hate that they used the Tyrannosaurus Rex, honestly, it fits because for anyone who doesn't know, it is believed, and this has come to light recently, that the T-Rex wasn't actually an apex predator, was more of a scavenger. Because it was so big, it was actually slower than a lot of the other dinosaurs, so it ended up eating dead dinosaurs than actually chasing and killing dead dinosaurs. Please get in the comments and correct me if you've heard anything else, but this is what I remember hearing recently. So like it kind of works because he is definitely a scavenger. One of my favorite signs. The clitoris has around 10,000 nerve endings, and it's still not as sensitive as a MAGA man's ego. It says it all right there. Says it all right there. I don't have to explain more. And then why protest? Because it's easier than hiding someone in your attic. Again, yes, we're comparing the current right, and the current Republican Party to Nazism, and to Hitler, and to hiding the Jewish people, and it is scary how close it's coming to shit like this. It is scary. I will send a fully armed battalion to remind you of my love. That is referencing to him sending the National Guard to Los Angeles and to was it Portland, right? And trying to send the Texas National Guard up there, even though they denied it, and then it's just a whole big mess. It's so frustrating. Here's another just generic shot of the crowd. This is everyone getting ready during the talks. I believe at this time the talks are happening. We had Senator Don Norcross come out to Collingswood and give a speech. We had um, the head of the government federal labor union. They had a woman by the name of Jamie Baran. I believe that's how you pronounce her name, who is the CEO of Bend the Arc, which is a Jewish action group. They are out to just fight white supremacy, anti-Semitism, racism, all that good, everything that is good, and fight this administration. So they were. I will link to them down below, at least to their Blue Sky, if you want to check them out. And then we had a handful of other speakers. We had the speaker um, recently in one of the local towns, Oak Lynn. There was an ICE raid, and they raided. The location was called Jersey Kebab. They had the owner of that place out to speak, and he announced while there that he's moving his shop to Collingswood from Oak Lynn. Not saying Oak Lynn's a bad town, but Collingswood is again a more inclusive town, and they're a good business from what I hear. I've never been there. It's hard for me to be able to eat stuff because of celiac and everything else. And then this picture right here is a shot of the woman who's up on screen speaking. She was one of the people who put together the protest, who works with Cooper River Indivisible. But I was trying to get a shot of the sign specifically, which you can't really make out what it says, but you can. and it just says "You sucked in Home Alone 2," which like I loved it. I loved it. That was a great sign. And then I believe, yeah, this is the last picture. The only thing more inflated than his ego is my grocery bill, which is true. Our grocery bills have not gone down, they have gone up. He is buying Argentinian beef because we cannot produce enough beef, and so beef prices have gone up. It is just bad. Everything he's doing to try to help the economy is doing nothing but helping his rich friends. And it's that simple. So yeah, that was my event. That was my time at the No Kings 2. Like I said, I am joining my local group, Cooper River Indivisible. You should look up if this is something that you want to go do, if you want to go start protesting, if you want to start fighting for the better of our country. Try to look up groups within your area. If you are in South Jersey, general Camden County area, Cooper River Indivisible is a really good group for you to look into, but there are so many. There were 7 million people protesting nationwide, and there were very minimum arrests, and I don't think there were any arrests for violence. Um, there was most of any sort of like arrests or anything like that. It seemed to be from MAGA people going in and causing trouble. There are videos out there of like some trouble, like MAGA people like counter protesting, which is their right to do. They're allowed to do it, and then people messing with them. There was one where there was a counter protester. Somebody took their hat and run from them, and then the counter protester chased after them and then fell flat on their face. It's hilarious that they fell flat on their face. However, they're allowed to counter protest just as much as we're allowed to protest. So touching them and doing something to them doesn't necessarily get your point across. It doesn't help is really, I guess, the point of what I'm trying to say on that. It doesn't help. Yeah, but that's about it. We're gonna end just on our thumbnail shot, which is just the picture of myself and my outfit. Thanks Philly D for the shirt. My body hurts and I hate the government. Can we just cuddle and watch spooky movies? That's just how I feel all year round. It was a wonderful time. It felt really good. It's honestly reinvigorated me. It's made me feel better. It made me feel like I was doing something, even though it was very minimal. And it's made me want to join the Cooper River Indivisible, go to meetings, things like that, try to help out and plan more stuff like this. And yeah, it was nice to go to and be surrounded by people that agree with me and know that there are people that agree with me, because I do know that the current minority in politics is MAGA. However, they are the vocal minority. Not as many people that are anti-MAGA or just are still Republican but not far right aren't speaking up. They don't know how to speak up. They're afraid to speak up. If they speak up, they could get in trouble. I said this earlier. I am a white man, so I actually have privilege that I shouldn't have just for being who I am. That I can get away with having these conversations, having these talks, and potentially not having a target on my head because I I am not the group that they are going after. And the unfortunate thing is to the right, being the group that they're not going after means, oh, I'm fine, I don't have to fight for anything. But no, as we've said, as I've said, as the picture said, as the sign said, we the people, we are one nation under. I'm going to skip that part. One nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. It is in the Constitution that if you are in this country, you have the rights of due process. Whether you are in the country legally or not, you still have due process. If you are here on vacation and something happens and you get arrested, you have due process. They can't just kick you the fuck out. That is how this country works. That is how this country's been put together. And yes, there are signs that even said, "How can you be illegal on stolen land?" And yes, I feel that. That is why we do Indigenous Peoples Day and not Columbus Day, because fuck Columbus. And if you disagree with me on that, just look up Christopher Columbus. Honestly, look up the episode of Adam Ruins Everything about Christopher Columbus. That just tells you everything about how bad he is. Christopher Columbus is so bad that my friend's son, at the time, I think he was between 10 and 12, wrote a report for Columbus Day about how bad he was and how we shouldn't celebrate Columbus Day. Columbus was so bad that he didn't get a day until the 70s, 60s or 70s. Maybe 50, I don't know. Because there was a lot of racism towards Italians and they wanted to bring some pride and honor to Italians. Columbus was so bad that he got arrested for the bad shit he did in his time. We should not be celebrating him. We should not be celebrating bad people. Don't get me started on even right now what Trump is doing with the White House and everything else. And this now, again, I'm filming this on 10/24. He is stopping all trade with Canada. He is trying to declare war with Venezuela. The government shutdown has been going on for 24 days now, and there is no end in sight at the moment. He is now the leader of the two longest government shutdowns ever, and he is not trying to do any sort of unity rhetoric. It's all anti anyone who did not vote for me. He is not a president for the people, he is a president for the rich. And he needs out. He needs to get out. Unfortunately, with that, there's not a lot we can do besides continue to protest, besides continue to make our voices heard, besides just going out and doing more and just shouting, even if it's out to the ether, how bad this is. But what we can do is remind people close to you to vote. Election day is, I believe, October or November 8th, November 4th. Election day is November 4th for New Jersey and for the country. And New Jersey is important. We are having a gubernatorial race. We need to make sure that that Citarelli does not win. He is pro-Trump. He is backed by Trump. He is pro-MAGA. He is pro all of this bullshit that we are dealing with and fighting against. And if he gets elected, things are going to go bad in New Jersey. But in your own states, there are debates that you can, or not debates, there are elections that you can go to. Seeding out corruption, seeding out and making change starts at the bottom. Every election matters. I am on record to say that I feel like my vote doesn't matter during a presidential election. I live in a very strong blue state, or at least it was until this past year. I live in a very strong blue state, so my vote for somebody blue doesn't necessarily matter because 99.9% of the time it goes blue in my voting life. They were very close this year. I think it was like 4 points or something like that difference this year, which I was ashamed of. I'm ashamed that it was that close. But we need to, the change starts at the bottom. The gubernatorial race matters. Like, unfortunately, it still continues to be the lesser of two evils. If you're in New York, the mayoral race matters. This shit matters. Go votelikeabeast.com with Mythical. There and I wish I had gotten together more resources, but there are a ton of resources that you can go to look up and read about your elections and who goes for what. The more local it is, the less information is going to be online, but stuff like mayoral race for big cities or gubernatorial races for each state and state senators and senators in general, there will be information. Find out who you back, find out who you want to vote for. And to be honest, I'm going to say it, and people might not like this. Don't vote. I want to vote third party. I want there to stop being a lesser of two evils. But we need to get rid of the current administration and the current heads that are just following Trump blindly. So until then, let's not split the vote. Let's get the vote for the people we know that are against what's going on. And then from there we can start trying to get more people into it. If they get 1/3 of the votes or some percentage, I'm not entirely sure, they will be put on the ballots. They will be given governmental funds to run the next election cycle. There is something better than what we have. But for now, We have to just figure out a way to stop what we have and to counter what we have. And hopefully, best case scenario, a year from now, year and a half from now, in January of 2027, Democrats get majority back. And then we can do more work. And then 2 years from that, whether or not Trump gets kicked out and Vance takes over or whoever else takes over from there, 2 years after that, in 2028, during that election cycle, we get somebody who's anti everything that's happened, and we can take care of this. It's going to be a long couple more years. It really is, and it sucks. But I'm here for you. And if you are feeling lost, if you are feeling like there's no one else around you, that there's nothing you can do, look for an organization. Definitely look for an organization. They're out there. You just have to look. They are out there. Wait for the next No Kings to start being promoted and figure out who put it together for your area. There's stuff you can do. There's stuff that can make you feel like you're doing it. Just go do it. That's it. I rambled on for way too long. It was a great event, and I'm happy to have been there. Go vote. November 4th is election day. If you have not voted already in your state, for Jersey, I believe it's November 4th. I have to double check. Go vote. It is November 4th. Go vote. Go protest. Scream out to the void. Don't be afraid to share your viewpoints. And if you have family that disagree with you, that are anti everything that you stand for, fight them on that. Verbally. Don't fight them physically. Because this is just going to show that we are not the people of violence. We are the people of protest and peace. Thank you guys so much. I know this is a different one, and this is a long one. Be careful, be safe, don't do anything I would do. Always hug your loved ones. And of course, like always, be sure to always wear socks. Check me out on all my lives and other videos.